Welcome to EduHeroes, the podcast where we explore everything about education and those who make it tick. I'm Amira, and today we're diving into the fascinating roles of educationalists.
And I am Batisha. I'll be talking about the prevention and intervention strategies, especially when it comes to hearing health in education.
Hey everyone, I'm Farisha and I will share a case scenario and explain how interdisciplinary collaboration can make a huge difference.
And I'm Wani. I will explain about how educationalists can impact a child's development, education, and quality of life.
Alright, team, let's get started. But first off, let's answer the big question. What is exactly an educationalist and what do they do? Well, educationalists are experts in the art and science of education. Their job is to make education more effective, inclusive, and meaningful to everyone.
Wait, are you saying they are like educational superheroes?
Exactly, Wani. They design learning strategies, support teachers, and make sure no child is left behind, especially children with unique abilities like hearing impairments. Think of them as the architects of an awesome classroom. For instance, when dealing with children with hearing impairments, educationalists will team up with audiologists and they would make up a special curriculum or called the IEP, Individualized Education Plan, which we'll be talking about later on. And then they would do something like adapting lessons with visual aids or introduce tools like hearing aids and sign languages. It's all about breaking barriers and building bridges to learning.
And they also play a big role in prevention and intervention, especially when they are addressing challenges like hearing impairment. Speaking of which, so let's talk about the prevention strategies. So basically, prevention is all about being proactive. First, there is awareness and education. Parents need to understand that the importance of the prenatal and also postnatal care. For example, avoiding the ototoxic medication and also protecting the child from being exposed to the loud noise. So by using public health campaign, it will help to spread the message far and wide.
So, educationists are like community advocates too.
Exactly, Farisha. Then there is also curriculum design and adaptation. Educationalists can integrate lessons about ear care, noise pollution, and also hearing health into the school curriculums. Imagine using the interactive tools like visual and also stories to teach the kid how to protect their ear.
Oh, and what about teachers?
Great point, Hani. So for teachers, training and professional development is the key. Teachers need to understand the impact of hearing impairment and learn strategies for the inclusive education. Educationalists can also foster the teamwork between teachers, audiologists, and also speech therapists. So now we'll talk about the intervention. So this intervention start with facilitating the early intervention. So early intervention is very important, especially in hearing impairment. So educationalists help the parents navigate referral system and support them in assessing the audiological services if a child shows any sign of hearing issues.
And schools?
So that's where the specialized learning plans come in. Educationalists have developed the individualized education plans to tailor each of the child's needs. They also adapt teaching methods by using visual aids, integrating sign language, and also ensuring the clear communication.
Now, let's talk about how educationalists give counseling. Well, you might wonder, why do educationalists provide counseling? Isn't their job just about teaching? Well, it's so much more than that. Counseling plays a vital role, especially when we're working with children who have hearing impairments. These children often face challenges beyond academics. They may struggle with self esteem, feel isolated at social settings, or find it hard to communicate their needs. And that's where counseling comes in to bridge the emotional and social gaps. So, how do they do it? It starts with creating a safe and supportive environment, like one on one sessions. So, these one on one sessions allow children to express their fears, frustrations, and dreams. So, can you imagine being a child who can't understand anything or be understood? Having someone to listen and guide can make a big difference. But it's not just about the child. Families also play a huge role too. Educationalists often counsel parents, helping them to understand their child's needs and teach them how to communicate better at home. This creates a supportive environment at school and at home.
And for teachers?
Great question, Wani. Educationalists counsel teachers about helping them to manage classroom stress, adapting to diverse student needs, and improve teaching methods. They often act as a bridge between teachers, parents, and specialists like audiologists and psychologists.
Speaking of specialists, now let's move on to interdisciplinary collaboration. Collaboration is the secret sauce for effective education. For example, a 7 years old was diagnosed with moderate hearing loss. She often struggles academically and socially because she have the difficulties in understanding the verbal instruction in the classroom. So, the parents and teachers notice her struggles and it leading to the referral for interdisciplinary support. For this case, an audiologist can assess her hearing capacity while a speech language pathologist can address communication challenges. Add an occupational therapist to manage sensory issues, and you've got a dream team.
What about the emotional well-being, Farisha?
That's a great question. That's where child psychiatrists or psychologists come in. They ensure the student's mental health is supported. And don't forget the pediatrician who keeps an eye on overall health.
Interesting. It's amazing how these professionals work together to create a supportive environment. Now, Wani, tell us the bigger picture.
Alright, right now let's talk about how educationalists can impact a children's development, education, and quality of life. So I will be talking about these three areas and I will provide examples to make it clear. So in the first area, development, educationalists focus on helping kids grow and emotionally and socially. For example, they might design group activities where kids with hearing impairments use visual cues like cards or images to communicate with their peers. So this encourages teamwork and helps all the kids to learn to interact in inclusive way. So by doing this, they are not just teaching skills, but also they help the children to build confidence and fostering a sense of belonging in children who might otherwise feel isolated.
That must really help those kids feel like they're part of the group, which is so important for their self esteem.
Exactly, honey. When kids feel included and valued, it gives them the emotional security to explore, connect, and grow socially. It's about creating an environment where every child feels they are important and included. Next is education. Educationalists directly improve how kids learn by tailoring teaching methods to different needs. For example, they might introduce interactive digital tools for kids who learn better through visuals or hands-on activities like simulations or drag and drop quizzes. For children who struggle to focus, educationalists might break down lessons into smaller segments with frequent breaks or include gamified learning elements to keep their attention.
That's so creative. It's like they are making learning fun and effective at the same time.
Exactly, but these these strategies don't just make learning easier, but also they help kids to retain information better and feel more engaged in the process. By adapting the learning environment to fit the student, educationalists ensure that no child gets left behind academically. So The last one, let's talk about quality of life. The work educationalists do is not just about school, it's about the long-term impacts on kids' lives. For example, they might work with schools to implement life skills training for kids with disabilities, like teaching financial literacy through role playing or mock shopping experiences. So these skills prepare children to handle real life situation confidently.
So they are actually giving children's tool that they can use outside the classroom, right?
Yes, absolutely, Farisha. When kids feel capable of handling challenges, they are more likely to take on opportunities and lead fulfilling lives. So, educationalists are essentially setting them up to become independent, resilient adults who can contribute back to the society in meaningful ways.
And I'm also sure that makes the parents feel a lot more at ease too, knowing that their child has all the support.
Exactly, honey. When children feel supported, they are more likely to thrive emotionally, socially, and professionally, and that's improve their quality of life in the long run.
Thanks for joining us on EduHeroes.
Remember, prevention and intervention make a world of difference.
Collaboration is the heart of effective education.
And education transform life. See you next time.
Bye.